What up, y'all? This is Patrick Hayes, and today I want to tell you a little story about my experience with simulated value. Now, I made a video not too long ago about simulated value, so if you haven't watched that, you might need to watch it in order to understand exactly what I'm talking about. But over the course of the last 7 or 8 months, I have had an experience, both Bridget and I have had an experience with being tricked by simulated value that we've been, in a sense, kind of paying for a while now. And what it was we were looking for a new place to live, and we didn't really want to look very much because we were really busy, so we wanted to move into a place as quickly as possible. And this place came along that was awesome, at least it seemed awesome, because it was fully furnished, which was great because we sold all our furniture before we moved back from Hawaii. And it was really nice, like it looked really nice. It had all been freshly remodeled. So, it was in a good location. And we just jumped on it because we walked into the house and we were like, wow, this is all remodeled. It looks really nice. All right, let's do this. But little did we know, we were being tricked by simulated value. And the simulated value here was that everything was redone, but it was all synthetic. And, now I knew to a certain degree that synthetic materials are unhealthy for us. My understanding at the time was that synthetic clothes are toxic, and when you wear synthetic fabrics that you're absorbing toxins, and most synthetic fabrics, if not all, are from petrochemicals. So you're getting, negative toxic influence from the petrochemicals that you're basically like keeping on your skin. Now I knew that, right? But I didn't know the extent to which synthetic materials actually affected you negatively. And I should have put the pieces together because I'm a student of Rudolf Steiner, and Rudolf Steiner doesn't let children, in the schools that he created, one of the rules was the kids can't play with plastic or metal, that they play with, natural products like wood and whatnot. And the reason for that is because your aura actually can't propagate through synthetic materials, meaning you think of it like this, like if you have to grab a metal post or if you're grabbing a piece of plastic, if your aura can't propagate through it, if you're sitting on it or touching it, if your aura can't propagate through it, it has to shrink in order for you to touch it. Meaning that if you can imagine this, if you grab onto a piece of plastic, your aura, and I'm holding the camera with one hand so I can't show you with my other hand, but your aura surrounds, your hand, right? So the field, your etheric body, and your astral body, surrounds your physical body. So if that can't propagate through a particular material, when you touch that material, it has to shrink because it can't go through it. So when you're around synthetic materials, when you're touching synthetic materials, when your house and all your furniture is made of synthetic materials, you're actually in a place that is constantly shrinking your aura. So this is one of the things that I found out later on, and it's making sense for the kinds of experiences that we had at this house. So the other thing was that we, up until this point, we have lived in houses that had very little Wi-Fi. We had just our one Wi-Fi signal, and 2 out of the 3, we wired our Wi-Fi, we hardwired it into our computers. So we actually went and bought the old routers and modems, and so that we could get a wire and actually plug it into our computer so we weren't in the actual Wi-Fi signal. And we did this in Sedona when we lived there before, and then we did this in Hawaii. And in Hawaii, we were off grid, so we were there was no Wi-Fi signals that you could even find in the search, on your computer. So we were totally free from all and there was no cell phone reception either. So we were completely free of all electromagnetic frequencies. There's probably some radio coming in maybe somewhere because radio's everywhere. But for the most part, it was a really, really clean field. Now this new place that we moved into, which we're just about to move out of on the 1st of this month, there's 15 Wi-Fi signals, all in the general area. And I can actually see the Wi-Fi tower from my desk, which is the dining room. And it's kind of this funny thing, whereas as I was realizing this, I also realized, well, I can see the tower from my window, and it's just radiating me from there. So anyway, one of the things that we learned is, as we started going forward, we started learning a lot more about all the different issues that Wi-Fi creates. See, now I knew already that there had been studies done in, I believe it was Poland, where mice, or it was either mice or rats, exposed to 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, lost the ability to procreate after 5 generations. So they became sterile. And this was something that, you know, sat with me for a while, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I knew Wi-Fi was bad. But as I started digging into this whole 5G thing, it really blew my mind even further about like how bad this stuff really is. So, and how it affects the neurological function of your body. So this is really big because one of the issues I've been having is memory issues. I've been having short-term memory issues, and I've been having neurological issues where I'm feeling like tingling in my nerves and you know, in some of my limbs, and this was a major thing, and it's connected to several different things, but one of the major issues that I've realized is that it's because of the electrosmog. And so not only did we move into a place that was filled with synthetic materials, but we also moved into a place where there was heavy electrosmog. And this part of town particularly has really heavy electrosmog. And it's kind of like a densely populated neighborhood. So there's a lot of people, there's a lot of Wi-Fi signals, and it's right in the area where it's catching the brunt of the cell phone towers. So it's like, it's just a bad place to be in. And so my point is that we got distracted by synthetic value. We walked in and we saw this place that looked really nice. It looked really nice. It looked beautiful. Everything was redone, nice furniture, looked all clean, but the hardwood floor wasn't hardwood, it was vinyl. And the couch and the cushions and everything was all synthetic material, and we have paid the price for it. So one of the things that we found, and I've been working and I'm still working on figuring out the major biohacks for being able to upgrade your environment, but then also for being able to just like protect your body as you're in these kinds of environments. One of the major biohacks that we found was blue blockers. And I don't know how I missed this. Like, people have been wearing them for a long time, but I guess I didn't realize the severity of what the blue light is doing to you. So blue light, synthetic blue light that is, affects your circadian rhythms. So it affects your ability to sleep properly at the right times and go into the kind of deep sleep that you need to go into to regenerate yourself. It's also really, which is also really associated with neurological function. So one of the things that I've realized was a major issue was this blue light. We got these blue blockers. I'll put a link to the blue blockers in the video here. We got these blue blockers, and honestly, within the first day after wearing them, our dream recall increased by 60% easily, and it's been steady ever since I started wearing them. So that's crazy, first off. But second, there's also all these connections to suicide rates in bipolar people and depression and all sorts of things associated with the disruption of circadian rhythms, which disrupts your ability to regenerate when you're sleeping, and the connection to blue light in disrupting that. So blue blockers, honestly, is like, this has been a major hack that we've just discovered. Now, I'm exploring other ones also, like I'm exploring these bed magnets that ionize you while you're sleeping. I'm exploring different negative ion generators that you can put in your house to create charged air, and various other things. So I'm gonna continue updating you with the new hacks as I tune into them and explore them, so that you can have access to my trial and error and not have to go through it on your own. But ultimately, the two major things that I wanted to bring across was synthetic value is a sleeper. You gotta be aware of synthetic value because it's insidious, and it's so easy to get caught up in the moment of things that look good, but is actually really like poison in disguise. So that was the first point I want to make. And the second point I wanted to make is that the biohacking is now a full-on necessity for the physical body. Actually, here's another one. I have a friend, a plasma physicist here in town, that is creating a Schumann resonance generator. Now, a lot of people may claim that they're actually doing this, and some of them might actually work, but most of them are shenanigans. Better term, shenanigans. But this one that he is putting together does work, and he's going to be releasing it as a product here, I don't know, hopefully within the next 6 months. We've been working on it forever. But that's something I'll be able to share with you also. And what this does is this piggybacks the harmful frequencies. So you can't necessarily block a frequency without creating a Faraday cage. You don't necessarily want to be in a Faraday cage because then you're cut off from the frequencies of the sun that you need, and then you're also cut off from the Schumann resonance. But what piggybacking does is it puts a really strong field around you that shifts the negative frequencies into a bandwidth that's actually beneficial. So it shifts it into the Schumann resonance. So I'll keep you posted on this device also as it comes out, because I think this is going to be a game changer. He's giving me a prototype to take with me while I'm traveling, so I'll be able to give you really good reviews on how well it works while traveling, which is one of the most difficult places to remain balanced. Traveling is just, you're getting radiated super hard when you're on a plane and in an airport. So anyway, 2 points I wanted to make. Don't fall for synthetic value, 1, and 2, start paying attention to how to biohack your environment to battle the synthetics in your environment and the electrosmog in your environment and the blue light. The blue blockers, like I said, have been huge. So start looking into that, because you'll be so surprised at how much it actually enables your consciousness to evolve. Like, it's crazy. Both Bridget and I, 60% better dream recall from after just one night. So I'm just thinking, I'm like, how many years have I been staring at this screen, at this blue light for so long, and how much has that been affecting my consciousness? Like, where would I be in my spiritual development if I hadn't had all this negative infiltration from all these other things, because I had been protecting myself the right way? So with all that said, I'll keep you posted on all these new biohacks that I am figuring out. So thanks so much for tuning in. This is Patrick Hayes. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the bell button if you haven't already hit the bell button, and then you'll be notified when I release videos. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments below, and I'm super stoked to continue sharing awesome content with you. So thanks so much, and I'll talk to you next time. One love.